Hello, human collective. Welcome to the Upside to Grief. My name is Story, and I am your host. And this week we are back with Sandra.
Hi,
Hi, thanks so much for coming back on.
thanks for inviting me.
Of course. This week we're going to be doing one of our segments, and I'm very excited about this. Sandra has chosen to do questionable grief decisions, aka QGDs. You've only, if you, for those of you who have been following along, we've only seen this segment twice so far on the podcast, so I'm excited about this one. Um, Questionable grief decisions are essentially decisions that you make when you're kind of in that like grief fog, or right after something has happened
hmm
and you're not really you don't really realize it at the time, or maybe you do and you just don't acknowledge it, and then like you fast forward and you look back and you're like, yeah, maybe
Mm,
shouldn't have been doing that,
yeah,
but at the time it was fine.
yeah, it's the
So
right decision.
it was the right decision for you in
hmm
that moment, you know,
Totally.
and so yeah, let's get into it.
Ooh,
What do you got?
the first ones that immediately come to mind are my tattoo and hair decisions.
Mm.
I definitely wanted a tattoo, and I wanted something like that, like I knew was gonna like hurt. I just wanted to just give myself some extra sting in there. So I got my chest tattoo, and it was weirdly euphoric when I was getting it done. And I remember the tattoo artist looking down at me like, "You look like you're enjoying this." And I kind of was. I kind of had like
In
this
your head, you're
weird,
like, I am
I
enjoying
am, yeah, I'm like,
this.
make it hurt. Yeah, I had a weird smile on my face. And I just thought that that was probably the weirdest feeling. Like, normally I would be like, please put some numbing lotion on it, like, make me forget that I'm even here on this table. When is it going to be over? But I like really enjoyed that tattoo. There was something cathartic about it. Um, and thank God it was like a nice tattoo. It wasn't like anything
Yeah,
like I
thank God it
regret in
wasn't
this
like
moment.
something that you were like, oh fuck,
Uh,
I gotta get this lasered
what have I
off.
done? Yeah, no, it wasn't one of those. The tattoo is great, but the hair decision was super questionable. I don't know what I was thinking. Definitely don't have the hair type for this, but I really really like the like geometric designs that some people get shaved in the back of their
Yeah.
head, like
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, I'll do like I'll shave the back of my head and I'll, have somebody like do some cool color work in there and get some like geometric designs. I found a lady that definitely didn't seem very confident in her skills, but I just
Oh
went with it.
no.
And that was the wrong decision. I wish I have a picture of it. I might have
Where
to
did you
find the
find this
picture.
lady?
She was at a salon, but this is kind of like a specialty, kind of a thing. Not
Oh, absolutely.
everybody knows how to do this.
No, it's super niche.
Yeah, she was like, "Yeah, I'll give it a go." And I was like, I'm in a real funky place right now. Let's go, lady.
Let's support each other.
Yeah, like I'm in a funky place. You're gonna make yeah. It was so I just did it and
So you shaved the back. How
shaved
far
the
up
back
did you shave your head?
like a solid probably like 3-4 inches. Like kind of like a rounded thing. So it was completely shaved, which means I lost like so much hair. My ponytail like got this big, but the color and the design that she put in there was just. I mean, my hair kind of goes in like every single direction, and you need to have really straight hair for that to look right. So
Hmm.
it looked so freaking weird. Like everything was just like a mismatched hodgepodge. Like it was supposed to look clean and shit. It was horrible, and the color
Oh
was purple,
no.
and I just had like this weird purple. It looked like a child's etch a sketch, like in the back of my head. Like
What color was the rest of your hair? Because you still had long hair,
I did
right?
like a purple ombre.
Okay.
Um, and like the bleach, oh my God, I just wrecked my hair. It was
Oh
awful.
no.
And it took so long for it to grow back. So I had to like really live with that decision for like 8 months until
Oh
the
shit.
hair grew back
You're like, I have to look at the decision.
every single day. And when you're like trying to put a ponytail up and the hair's all different like lengths and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
and then when it's the way it sits, yeah,
Mhm.
it's not
I
fun.
had like a cockatoo like ponytail just in the back for like months. It
Oh
was like
no.
just barely making it to the rubber
Just
band.
poking out the other side of the
Yeah,
band.
like so yeah, that was so dumb. I regret that so bad. Those two immediately come to mind for me. I was like, the tattoo and the hair happened like real fast.
Yeah.
And then I downloaded Snapchat, which was also really stupid. It wasn't my
Explain.
wasn't I don't know what I was doing. I think that's probably the place where I should start. Um, I felt bombarded like with like I was like, what is this content? Like you can just send people things and it will just go. I guess I was just like such a
Oh,
novice with
before
it.
how well, when Snapchat first came out, I mean, I feel like it was kind of advertised as this social media site where you can send like pictures and then they go away
Away,
and
yeah.
all that stuff, right?
Okay.
That's not a thing anymore. You can
Okay.
save everything
I'm
in
clearly
that
traumatized.
chat.
I've never went back.
Oh, don't go back
Yeah.
because it's all there
Ugh.
forever. I mean, when I go on my Snapchat now, it'll be like, "Here's your memories from 2014," and I
Oh
was like,
God.
"Oh, thank you for
Yeah.
reminding me,"
Good to know.
because I feel like on like Facebook and stuff when it's like look back 10 years and
Right.
you're like, oh, okay, thank you. I feel like with Snapchat, it's kind of worse because not that I didn't post stupid shit on my Facebook, throughout the years, but it was like a little more tame.
Hmm.
Whereas with Snapchat, because you are just taking these like short little videos or sending pictures or whatever, and I feel like there was a part of some heavy drinking going on in that phase of my life.
Yeah.
So they're so bad. It's like drunk singing where you just look terrible and you're like, oh my God. But like those aren't all over Facebook, like coming back, like, look at your memories. But on Snapchat, it's like,
It's there.
here's you go. Here you go. Being so stupid.
It's like a scrapbook of like your like worst
Worst. Yes.
times.
Yes. Snapchat is literally a scrapbook of your worst decisions.
Okay. Well, it's never been re-downloaded because I was traumatized by what I was seeing, and I thought that like maybe this is how I would find like a like somebody to hook up with or like a date or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. I wasn't really too big on like the dating apps, but I was like, okay, I can find like a friend or something like that. But yeah, I like blushed, and it's really hard to make me blush. Like some of the shit that I was getting sent, I was like, oh my God, what if we dissolved into as a society?
mm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so Snapchat wasn't a good idea. I did meet a random um, girl on there that ended up being um, a porn star who invited me into some of her videos and stuff like that. And I kind of maybe had a quick thought. I was like, do I do
You're
this?
like,
Oh, am I a porn star?
life is short.
Life is
Should I do
short.
it?
I've made questionable decisions. Yeah. So some of those interactions were really interesting, and I just remember being like, "Here I am. This is where I am now. I'm on Snapchat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on Snapchat doing questionable things,
Mm-hmm.
questionable people."
I did that with Tinder in my grief
Yeah.
because I was like, I don't know what the fuck I was doing, honestly. And I'm not like an online dating person. I'm not like one of the, like people who just hop on there and like go do their thing. Like that's a thing. But I wasn't a part of that generation necessarily. It was like right after me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I mean, I guess like I'll go on there and try it, like whatever. Like felt like I was like a walking shell at that point, anyways. But I remember this one time, it was so bad, and I feel like the universe was trying to tell me to not go. And so I had been talking to this guy on Tinder, and we were going to I was living in East County, San Diego at the time. So for those of you who aren't from here, it's at nighttime with no traffic, like maybe 25-30 minute drive on the freeway to the beach. And so the person that I was chatting with we were like, "Oh, like do you want to meet up and like go to Fiesta Island by the beach? Like there's probably, people having fires, like walk around, whatever." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, cool. Like I can get on board with that." So we were going to meet and then ride together since we were both coming from the same area. And I was like, okay, like, where do you want to meet? Like, just at like the grocery store to leave the car parked there or whatever. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. And so I drove down to the Albertsons by my house at that time. It's a grocery store in California. And when I got there, like, he wasn't there. He was like, "Oh, I'm here," but then he wasn't there, and I was like, "No, you're not, like, where are you?" And then he, like, sent me the address, and he was at a Albertsons that was, like, 5 miles away or something, and he was like, "Oh, my bad, like, I'll be right there, like, I thought you were talking about this one," and so I'm like, "Okay, like, no big deal." So then I'm just kinda, like, sitting and waiting, and I'm already kind of like, "What the fuck am I doing?" in my head, like, "Why am I doing this?" Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Mm.
I didn't wanna date anybody, I don't even know, like, I guess I was, like, maybe trying to just, like, hook up with somebody and then be like, "Whatever," you know? I don't
Mhm.
fucking know. But then all of a sudden, like 5 minutes later, he sends me a message and he's like, "I just got pulled over." And I
Mm.
was like, "Wait, really?" And then he like sends me a picture and I can see like the lights in the back. And in my head, I'm like, "Girl, go home. Like, you need to go
This
home.
is your
What are you
chance. This is your
doing?"
out.
You
Yeah.
know? But I was like, "Oh God." And he's like, "I like my tail light was out. Like, I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "Oh, it's fine. Like, it's okay." So So he pulls up and he's got like a truck, but it's like a hatchback back of a truck.
Mm.
And there was a bunch of stuff in it. And so as soon as he pulled up, I was like, fuck, this guy lives in his car.
Mhm.
I'm not judging people who live in their car.
No.
I've lived in my car, I've lived on the street.
Yeah.
But I was like, fuck, this guy lives in his car.
It's a fuck.
It's a fuck. And so he's all, like pulls up next to me and waves, and I'm like, okay, like you can like get in the passenger seat of my vehicle. So he like gets in and he's like, I'm so sorry, da 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 da. And I'm like, it's okay. And I'm like, it's kind of getting late though for like driving all the way to the ocean now. Like at this point, like at least 30, 35 more minutes have elapsed. It's a 30-minute drive there, 30-minute drive back. And it was dark outside. So I was like, yeah, I don't know if we have time to do that. And he was like, okay. And I go, can I ask you a question? And he's like, yeah, what's up? And I said, do you live in your car? Like, I just straight up asked him. And he was like, he like paused and looked at me and he was like, yeah. And he's like, but I mean, I was just at my brother's house. Like, I go there, but like, I don't like live there full time. But I like, like, so essentially he like showers and eats there,
Yeah.
right? But like, he lives in his car.
Mhm. Fuck.
And so he's like, is that like, is that a deal breaker? And I was like, I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, we're not gonna go to the beach. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, but we can like chat for a little bit if you
You're
want.
so nice.
God, I know. Like now, now absolutely not. If somebody's energy is off, like I am so quick to cut somebody off. Like I am at that point of my life, and I am so happy about it.
Mhm.
But I'm like, yeah, we can just chat. And so then what that turned into was like, I don't know, like an hour and a half long conversation of this. Like, I mean, he was an adult, but he was a child. Do you get what it like?
Yeah.
He was
Bad boy.
he was a man baby.
Mhm.
Yes, and he proceeded to tell me his whole life story and all of the things that happened and why he ended up where he was, and so it kind of ended up to be a therapy session, and then I went home and I was like, and we're going to redelete this app again
Awesome.
cuz god damn it.
God damn it. Send him an invoice for that therapy session.
Can I yeah, fuck, dude. So
Shoot.
stupid. Like those things,
Those
like
moments you're like, fuck, I just wasted time.
yeah,
Just
well, and
wasted so
it's
much time.
I don't know. There'd just be times where I'm like, God, like I don't know what to do. I need to do something, but I don't know what to do. And then I find my like there was multiple times where I downloaded the app, and
Yeah.
then deleted it. Like it's been a long time since I've downloaded it at this point,
Yeah.
but it's never a good idea.
Ironically, I ended up meeting my fiance now.
On.
What she swears is frickin' Tinder, but I remember it to be that Facebook dating thing.
Oh yeah, Facebook dating.
And I was like, I'm pretty sure it was Facebook dating because then I like figured out that we had mutual friends and like vetted you through people I knew already. So how, no way was it Tinder, like, but she swears by it
Swears.
and then like found the profile. She's like, look, here's, and I'm like, oh my God, I guess you're right, but I'm not 100% sold that we met on Tinder, and also I hate it. I hate that it's
You're like, I don't want
technically
that to
true.
be
I
a
don't want
part
it to
of
be the
this.
story. We met in Aspen on a mountaintop. Um,
That sounds a little more redefined
she
as
actually she actually asked me to marry her on top of a mountaintop, so it kind of worked out in a
yeah.
different way. But meeting on Tinder was not the way I wanted it to go.
Mm,
Um, but I'm glad I don't have to use those apps anymore.
yeah, really.
I think the other questionable decision that I ended up making was trying to convince everybody around me that they should side with me.
Okay. And like, can you like lay the groundwork there for us?
Um,
Or
our
like,
lives were so intertwined. It was almost like not a him or me situation, but it was almost kind of like
and when you say that your lives were intertwined, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Corey,
Okay.
um, my ex-husband, and the life that I envisioned and everybody in it. I kind of felt like it had to be divided in a way that like that was probably the only way that I can have any kind of closure or separation. And then what ended up happening actually is that none of that ended up happening. Like there was no division. I decided to not do any of that. I decided to just completely be okay with it being connected still and intertwined, which made the a really weird kind of like perspective in my brain that like he was a different entity now. Like he had like morphed into something else.
Like you guys stayed in the same social circle type of situation? Is
Yeah.
that what you mean?
Yeah, we stayed in the same social circle. We stayed in the same for a while. We were still in the same apartment while I like,
Figured
was
out what you were like gonna do.
right what was I mean, I was very much adamant about it not letting it go because I didn't want it to
Be done.
be done. No,
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't, and it was never a thought in my mind that that situation would ever play itself out. So the fact that I was having to beg for this life to be given, like the chance that the second chance or whatever, I'm just like, let's not give up on it now. I never thought that I'd have to fight for it that way. So the first thought was like, it's gotta they've either got to choose, like me or him. It
The
can't be
friends.
both.
Yeah.
Yeah, the friends, the like, we had the dogs, the family. I
Yeah.
remember trying to convince his family, even that like they should be on, my side, kind of a thing. Like I remember talking to his sister and trying to convince her that like, you know, there was something wrong with him. Kind of, that's the only way that this could ever happen is if something was
Mm-hmm.
wrong with him, like, um, I don't know. It was such a weird way for me to not feel like shame and embarrassment because I wasn't the one that created the destruction, or in my mind, I wasn't the one that created the destruction. So I kind of like tried to convince maybe everybody around me that like like they should stay in this life, and if anybody's leaving from it, it's
It's
him.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's him. Like he had to go.
So when in like referring to that, right, as like a questionable grief decision, I feel like that was very much while that was happening, you were not aware
Mm-mm.
of that until probably like quite a while after, right?
Yeah.
That you looked back and then you were like, oh yeah, I definitely wasn't like thinking clearly
Hmm.
with all of that, right? But hindsight is 2020,
Yeah.
and it's a lot. Like,
His
and I think you're
sister, like,
trying to
clocked me.
process all of that. Like, I think it's a pretty normal thing for people to do.
Yeah.
Like what you did. And I mean, and that's why I like to do this segment
Mhm.
because I feel like there's a lot of things that come up like that. Like for instance, what you just talked about and like there's so many people that have done that or been through that and then it's like way later down the line nobody ever really necessarily talks about that part of it because then it's almost like they tie this shame and guilt to it where it was like, oh yeah, I don't want to talk about
Mhm.
how I acted or reacted
Mhm.
in this time frame because then you're like you feel bad about it or you feel like it wasn't the correct or politically correct thing to do or whatever, you know what I
Right.
mean? And that's why I like this segment because it's like no, like that's just being human.
Yeah.
That is stuff that a lot of people do. And
Mhm.
it is just something that people don't talk about because other people make them feel like they can't talk about it, which is just, in my opinion, not the correct thing to do.
Yeah. It feels like a weird act of desperation, but I don't know what it was for. Like,
Probably trying to fill that void.
yeah.
Like, you felt a sense of loss. So you were trying to, like, you know,
Right. Like I wanted.
gather everything up.
Right.
Like,
Right.
you're trying to save all that you can left.
Mhm.
Like,
That validation,
yeah,
like, hey, this
100%.
wasn't on you. Like you did everything right, kind of a thing. Like this, this loss doesn't have to be a reflection of you
Of
or something
yeah.
like that.
Or like the thought of being like, well, I did everything that I could possibly do
Mm-hmm.
type of situation too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Too conflicting. And then if somebody did kind of side too much, and was like down talking or being, kind of like disrespectful or insulting towards him, I would have a totally different reaction. I didn't like it. Like I was like, no, you don't get to insult, you don't get to
Yeah.
down talk. Like,
You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa.
whoa, whoa,
There's
pump
a
the brake.
line.
Yeah, like that's too much. Too
Hmm.
much. Um
Which might be probably a little confusing
yeah.
for everybody.
Yeah, I think I did. I think I definitely confused a lot of people because there was this feeling of like I still want that so bad. Like I want it back so bad. Um so don't, like if you insult him too much, it's going to be too real, and if it ever comes back, like
You're like,
you're like you
nah,
told me, what you thought, and
I can't unhear what
I
you're
can't unhear and
saying.
unknow, you know what I mean? So I didn't want it to get like too down and dirty just in case it ever came
Yeah.
back. And
Yeah. You didn't want to like put the seal
right.
on the envelope.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I remember being like almost like bothered when some of my girlfriends were like, totally doing the girlfriend thing, like, you're so much better than him, fuck him, blah blah blah, your life is going to be better, and just like me completely, having this fucking codependency existential crisis, and hearing them talk about the person that I loved for so long that way, I was like, oh, like
Your
don't,
brain was like, this
don't
is
like,
not intaking this data properly.
right?
This
Yeah,
is not working.
yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah.
It didn't work. I think some of the best advice that I got was it just. I remember my closest friend, Linda, told me that she also had a very similar experience with somebody that she was with for, over a decade, um, and when they were no longer in her life, she told me it took almost as long as the relationship
Mm-hmm.
to like get over it,
Yeah.
kind of like as long as much as you travel into the forest, it's going to take you
That
that long
long
to
to
get
come back
out.
out. Yeah, of
And I
course.
was like, oh my fucking God,
You're
like
like, wait.
13, 14 years, like of this, kind of like grief or like pain or reminders and stuff like that. Like, fuck, like, am I going to
You're
be
like,
able?
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. But it's going to be like 6 years pretty soon. And I feel like I am halfway through, which is fucking crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Time is fucked
Yeah.
on so many different levels.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. Are there any other ones you think to mind or just those ones?
There was a lot of ones that I wish I did that I didn't do. I wanted to do a lot of like crazy girl shit. I wanted to like
You're like,
bust down some doors and go places and like, go to the bars and just like I just wanted to be more confrontational. And at the time I was like, you're going to regret that. Like it was kind of like one of the only times that I had clarity, especially because our town was so small and it was like,
mm,
you just can't get, and I'm a therapist, like it's going to get back to something, somebody,
yeah.
somehow. So I made the right decision there, but I definitely fucking wanted to. Like I wanted to get in my car on some nights, after I had a bottle of wine and just like, be super confident. I felt like I had every right to be, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
you're so lucky that I am not doing that. I have every right to be. I'm just trying to be professional. I'm trying to like keep it together and not seem like so broken,
Yeah.
like just have some sort of fucking dignity.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
It was probably good that you
I
didn't.
know, I know. I kind of wish I did it once, like just like one time.
Just one time.
Yeah, just to like let him know that I meant business because I was willing to really fight for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, to this day, it still feels like a loss, like something that was so special that I just don't have anymore.
Yep. Yeah. And um for those of you who, if you just tuned in to this segment today, if you go back 1 week, we kind of go more, or we expand into a little bit more of the details and um, afterwards and all that stuff about this situation. So make sure you check it out. But anything else for grief or questionable grief
I'm sure
decisions?
there's so many in there that I just probably, I mean, God, I just drank so much wine.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
a
wine
lot of
drinking.
people.
That is, in my head, I'm like, that is just a given. That was gonna happen. I like used to stare at the clock and be like, and 6 o'clock, boom, like,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'd just always make sure that I had enough to like
Get to
just
where you just
put me to bed.
pass the fuck out.
Just
Yeah.
put me to bed. I'm like, I'm gonna need 1 to 2 bottles. Um, yeah, I hate that I did that to myself. I really fucking do. It was like it created like that like weird dependency for like almost like 6 months to a year where I was constantly just looking at the clock like waiting to just be numb so that I can forget.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just my go-to. I was like, and time to forget. Boom. And
Yeah.
time to forget. Boom. Time to forget. Yeah. That was that was the go-to for a really long time. And it was during COVID, so it was so
I
perfect.
mean, yeah, because there wasn't
It's like encouraged.
a whole lot else going
Not
on.
really.
I think COVID shifted a lot of things for a lot of fucking
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. It might have happened regardless because of COVID. I had gotten laid off from my job. And it seemed like every single thing that you kind of, in this day and age, like have a strong relationship for started happening. We always had this agreement like, we're like not in the freaking Middle Ages. We don't need to like, we don't need each other to survive. We don't need to have a family to tend the yards and the garden and the freaking ranch and have, this like survival uh like motivate we don't need it. That's not our motivation. The motivation is that we're going to have a fulfilling life together, that we enrich each other's lives,
Mm-hmm.
and that also the bad shit that we were there for each other through the bad shit. And then the bad shit started happening once the relationship was gone, and I was like, how fucking ironic that like every single thing that we had stuck together for and planned for and was like, this is the whole point of this, started happening afterwards. So that's probably my last like really solid questionable decision that's coming to mind, is that every single time something happened that was bad, I just wanted to just remind him like, look what happened
Mm,
and look what we don't have anymore.
yeah.
That thing that we were staying together for, that thing that we created this whole love and unity for happened after it no longer existed. What a shame. Like, what a fucking shame.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to just like stab him with that, like, and I
Mm-hmm.
still do every single time every something happens. I just, even though I'm in a beautiful, healthy, loving relationship, I love my partner so freaking much. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't go back, but I still get this like feeling of like
It's
just wanting
still
to
in there.
like
Yeah.
remind him like, hey, look what happened. What happened? And we're not fucking together to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It comes up less and less though. That's kind of like the beauty of time, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. It's like the beauty and the curse of time.
That's
Because
true.
at the beginning of it, you're like, fuck.
Right.
Like, yeah.
How much longer?
Time is like the most valuable thing, but like the most difficult thing, but like the most beautiful thing.
Right.
Like, time is beautifully fucked,
Yeah.
if you will.
If you will. Indubitably.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming back on and sharing a few of your questionable grief decisions.
Thank you for having me. That was fun. And felt good. Let it out.
Good.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for following along. If you have any questionable grief decisions, comment below or shoot us a message. We would love to hear them. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And we will see you next week. Thank you.